So a couple weeks ago, in the end video, I think, I showed the Iron Farm down there. And that made me think, I haven't done a world tour in a long time. The first two videos on this channel were a tour of what I'd accomplished on this world, and it wasn't much. It was like that house and another house here that's no longer here. And that was pretty much it. And I showed that church off as well. Still haven't torn that down, even though I said I would. So I thought I'd do another one, do another tour. But we have to start where everything started. This cave. This was a natural gem cave. It's where I first settled. There was an opening here. I've covered that up since. It's just where everything started. Then over here, we have the first bar, tavern area. The colour palette is a bit bland. Not my best work. I'm still proud of it, but it's definitely not my best work. It could have been better. But you know, it's cozy, it serves its purpose. It's also where I keep the map arts I've made for my friends. There's only 3 so far, but it's a lot of work. But that immediately comes out onto the dock. I have chests listed here from the very beginning of the world that I still haven't cleaned up. And we've got stores lining the cliff here. It's got a general food goods, fishing store. Some of these are due for a renovation, like this one. This one's fine. I like this one. This one's a bit boring. I don't really know what I can do with a fish store to make it interesting. We've got library. I'm doing something with this soon, actually. I am doing something with that soon. We've got the Adventurers Guild, because every good island needs an Adventurers Guild. With bee grills. I couldn't help it. And this needs an overhaul. So a clothing store. And some of the shops I have named after my friends, like that one. I have a friend called Ez. We've got the beach, that obviously we redid in the beach episode. The beach had to be expanded. I wasn't sure at the start if I was going to do it, but it had to be because this staircase came out too close to the ocean. The original shoreline was like here. So it had to be expanded. Decorate the staircase. This staircase originally wrapped around the tower. I had it go a bit more straight to connect up to this bridge. We had to decorate that. We've got a little cliff in there. We've got sand piled up against the wall, which I think is a really nice touch. We got the walkway. There's nothing of note there. Made in the beach episode. Not noteworthy, but that does take us around to the corner. Sorry, the nook. Got renamed to the nook. Not really much going on here. There's some flowers, some cliffs. If you can't tell, I really like making cliffs. I love my terraforming. Simple house here. Not decorated on the interior. It is a noteworthy house though. Important to the world building, and then I've got my Halloween mobs behind there, like I showed in the video. We got the cave stair thing that goes up into, like, just outside the shopping area. What did I name this place? I didn't name it yet. In that case, give me some name suggestions. If there's any, like, I'll name it. I'll name it that. This place, the cool part on this place though, I absolutely love it. It's so roomy. The little table tucked in there. I adore this place. It's so nice just being in here. And coming up here, we've got houses with no interiors because I don't like doing interiors. That should be oak, not spruce. And then we come just behind the shopping area, actually. This path is wider, there's more room to walk. There's grass lining the buildings. Not sure how I feel about this bit, I might have to rework that. But that does bring us to the main shopping street. I was nervous about doing this when I did it. And it wasn't even originally going to be this. It was going to be like pop-up shops and like just little stands covered by tarps. But I decided against that and had buildings. I'm glad. I don't think it would have looked nearly as good with that style mixed into the middle of the island. No, but this is where the shops named after my friends like really come out. We got Steph's Stuff, a notable name. Mo Fashion, another notable name. I've got a blacksmith. Not the best build. We have the Animal Rescue, which is actually 2 buildings. One for aquatic animals and one for terrestrial. I only have a dog in here though. I can tame some of the cats around the island. But then over here we got the Swift Cut, which is the butcher's. Selling raw meat, obviously. Why would it be cooked? It's a butcher's. And the Victoria Sponge, which is also named after a friend. And so is the Swift Cut. Don't have any friends called Hammer or Nail, so that one's not named after anyone. This brings us to the top of the nook. You can overlook it. Not the best view. You get a nice view down that street though. That much you can. One of the first houses I built has an overhang. Has an actual interior. Nothing that special. This dispenses 60-foot fireworks. At least it should. It does. That's important to the world building. This is important to the world building as well. It's a little warehouse. And the tree, this is my first ever custom built tree, actually. And honestly, I really like how it came out. I still tinker with it to this day. Like, oh, it would look better with a leaf there, or this missing, or an extra glowberry here. And we've got string on top of the sugarcane, little pond. It's just a nice serene area, and yes, this is spawn proof, nothing spawns here. This tower, I love this tower, man. I had a smaller tower about here? Like down there, before I made this into a cliff. But when I reworked the dock, that got removed. So I designed this in a creative world and built it here. And it looks gorgeous. But up here, we have the main warehouse. It's kind of a center point of the island. It's my storage. It's where I keep everything, including the obsidian I still have left over from the end, mining out the entire end. I've still got a lot of obsidian. This is where the farm was. I'm moving it to the island over there by the nook. But this is just going to be more buildings. I didn't want a farm that big in the middle of the island, mixing with houses. I wanted to have a layer of separation between that. Again, more streets, more little alleyways. I made this purposefully narrow. And then we have a walkway up to the top of the cliff. A nice cherry tree. Doesn't look so flattering from this angle, but from over here and down here, it looks really nice. But from this angle, it's not bad. But there are better angles to look at the tree from. And obviously the path gets worn, and we arrive at the grave. No one actually died. Spawner Searcher is my old account, my Mojang account. I got my Mojang account in 2013, that's when I started playing Minecraft. And here I am. And I made it when I was so young. I couldn't remember the login details, so I couldn't port it over to Microsoft. So this is a different account. And Craig was a zombie pigman pet I had at the beginning of the island, when I first started. He died very quickly. He was the co-founder of the island. So he gets a shared grave with me. And then we have the underbelly of the island. This is by the beach. I've got a fisherman and a farmer here. Farmer is for my golden carrots. Fisherman is to sell string to. Connected entirely by underground passages. Multiple entrances, multiple exits. This is the house that I showed you with my mobs. Just a little area to farm dripstone. The iron farm that I showed you in the other video. My boy, my skeleton. I cannot remember what I named you. I think it was something random. Sugarcane farm, super smelter. You know how it goes. I got some cows down here somewhere. down there. You can hear them. This is where the product from my iron farm goes. I need to compress that. I'm not using autocrafters yet because I'm not in the update. And I'd have to update my mods. And I'm pretty sure autocrafters are in experimental still. But down here is my slime farm. Well, not my slime farm. The storage for my slime farm. My slime farm's way down there somewhere. There's like 3 slime chunks in a row down there somewhere. That, to my knowledge, is the entire main island. This is a little industrial district. Not too many farms here. We've got a creeper farm that I'm standing below. It's turned off at the moment. We've got a kelp farm with terrible storage. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this storage. It's so ineffective. Carrot farm. How many tiers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiered carrot farm. And then all these villages, they were all at one point zombified and cured multiple times to have the cheapest possible prices. But since this is technically a different player character, those discounts don't apply. And I haven't re-zombified them since. And I have a collection of all the books, every single book. I had a double chest of all of them, but some of them obviously I've used a lot of, like Unbreaking. But right next to my industrial district is my map art district. And I mean, they're big. And they don't look like the map at all. They do if you get high enough up in the air. I'm not sure if I've shown this on video. We have a sea temple. Fully dried out, inside and out, and partially decorated. Those chests are what I gained from actually doing it. It's a lot of stuff. This originally was just going to be a little square around it, but I decided to go for a circle, and then a diagonal square, and then another circle, so I could have like a tiered thing going on. And there are buttons on the sand down there because that is there are slime chunks down there. And that is Y33. So slimes can spawn down there if I didn't spawn proof it. I just use birch buttons because it's a similar tone to sand. And I use moss carpets for the grass. This at the time was dug all the way down to bedrock because I made it before the level of bedrock got changed. But we do have one more thing to see. The end! Obviously, I don't see what else it would be. No, I haven't worked on this anymore since last video. I will be doing it soon though. Hopefully. I need to do a little bit of resource gathering. But then we are continuing work in the end. I mean, you guys know how this place is laid out. You got the outer ring, the little diagonal rings. That was a painter design. That's a cross-section of a sphere. That's how I did it. We got the inner ring, we got the platforms on the cardinal directions. And then we've got a pattern of, well, crystals, I guess, surrounding the rest of the portals, all 20. Yeah, outer ring, inner ring, and then what houses the end portal. Fits very snugly in there. And then, of course, I've got to mention the tribute to Technoblade. Was my favourite YouTuber, and I knew I wanted to make a tribute to him somehow. I do want to one day add the cape, but that does bring us back to where we started.